Sometimes you'll see serious lifters moving backwards. You may have noticed it in yourself that there are certain times of the year where performance is not quite there. You get weaker. Why does this happen? Well, it's easy to blame programming, injuries, and lifestyle factors, but the underlying cause is a lot more simple, which is mainly the fact that you stop caring, at least as much. What I mean is you start to settle for either less or greatness, because that can certainly happen as well. Perhaps you reach a goal. You want to get that 3-plate bench all your life, and you finally got it, only to realize that, you know what, it's not a big deal. That's when it finally clicked. It wasn't that important to you. And then moving forward, the goal of 350 doesn't really seem that desirable. So your motivation goes down. The want factor is no longer there. What I'm saying is stagnation occurs. And for a time period, you might maintain those gains because you're doing the bare minimum to recover and still keep the strength and all that. But at some point, you start to go backwards because now the programming's starting to look a little bit sloppy. You're not doing as much as you could be. Maybe injuries are coming up because you're no longer maximizing the training system, having a bit more junk food, going out when you shouldn't. Like, you start to deviate away from the habits that got you successful in the first place. And the drive to be great, the drive to keep going more and more and more is no longer there. So it doesn't matter what your goal may have been. It doesn't matter that things have been going well up until this point. You can be at an all-time high of your training, but if you stop caring, chances are you're going to move backwards. And this is the common pattern that I've seen in myself and serious lifters who follow my channel. Sometimes I'll see guys who are like, Alex, I fell off for the last 3-4 months. I started getting a bit weaker. And when you ask them why, it's like no particular reason other than the fact that I stopped caring. And it's easy to stop caring when you're a real natural that's been lifting for a very long time. Like, if the gains are so fucking slow that you barely see it in the mirror every single day, the motivation to keep going is a little bit less. Wouldn't you agree? You've really got to have that drive to reach an elite status. If you know you're going to add 10 pounds to your bench the entire year, it's like, do you really care about it as much? Compare that to being a full-on novice, 135 bench, trying to get that 225 for the first time. There, it's like, yeah. But as you get stronger, as you start to really get a nice physique, and you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, fuck, I look amazing. And the numbers are on point, everything's going well, and you're at an all-time high. That's when you start losing sight of the purpose, that which got you there in the first place. So the secret is to always set new goals. You got to be on your grind 24/7. That's the honest truth. If you start settling at any point in your lifting career, you'll either maintain the gains or move backwards, depending how you structure things. But from what I've seen in a lot of lifters over the years is that guys will go backwards at some point if they start to settle. So my best advice is you can't let that happen to yourself. You got to keep shooting for excellence and getting smarter with the training programming, because you also have to factor in injuries. You don't want to get snapped up. So this is where ego lifting needs to go to the side. And you have to really assess things from a long-term perspective of getting a little bit better. But if you're content, congratulations for getting that physique in the first place. But now you're in a position where it's like, are you going to move backwards or just stay the same? So that's what I've come to realize over the years. You have to keep caring. You have to have this childlike sense of curiosity. You have to maintain kind of like that novice vibe, if you will, which can be hard to do at times, but this is what you see in the best of the best naturals. They have that focus all the time. Even after 10 years, they're still going at it, and they still have this passion, this fire in their eyes, this burning desire. You see this not only in the business world of fitness, those who've been staying in the game, still making videos, still being on Instagram, still doing all these things, right? But also those who just have crazy physiques. You may have seen them in your local gym. So to me, that's the underlying cause. It's what leads to all the other shit that I talked about at the beginning of this video. Bad programming, getting sloppy, getting lazier, all these things can be attributed to you not caring. Because if you cared, if you truly want something, you're always going to keep learning, always going to push yourself to your maximum potential, you're always going to get smarter, and you're going to try to minimize the injuries, maximize your performance. And you're going to take any PR that's possible. You'll go for the minuscule gains because you care about it. But like I said, if you stop caring, that's when you move backwards. That's exactly what happened to me with the heavy pulls, which wasn't too bad because I still got carryover from certain movements. But imagine this. Imagine if I would have never gone lazy in my leg training. You saw what my performance was like when I was bear mode. Let's say I never did a cut. Let's say I just stayed in that fluffy state. I kept going with the progressive overload. Bro, my pulls would have been out of this world. I missed a good 2-year window of making gains. I was basically maintenance mode or moving backwards at times because I stopped caring. So that's what I'm saying for you. You have to find a way to maintain that drive somehow. And you can't settle even if the goal is great. You got to keep going more and more and more and more. You already know what it takes to make the results. Like if you're doing a concurrent program, you know what you got to do. High volume, high intensity, rotate the movements. But if you stop caring, you're skipping workouts, you're not doing everything that you should be doing, you're skipping the accessories, now you're getting injured. Now your volume's not high enough. Now you're not doing max intensity work either. The programming gets fucked simply based off your desire. That's why I'm saying it fuels everything that I'm talking about. So to me, that's the main reason. You have to care always. Always move forward, never backwards. And it starts up here. So that's it, man. I know I rambled a little bit in this video, but that's how I feel about this topic. So if you can relate to what I'm saying, I'd love to hear your stories in the comments section. So let's hear it, and I'll talk to you next time.